So what we're going to do here is we're going to graph using X and Y intercepts. Okay, so basically what we want to do is t-tables. You've done t-tables probably for several years now. It takes a lot of time. Instead of using 5 points or 7 points or 3 points, we're going to use 2 points. We're going to find the most important points on the graph to use it. And we're going to use this technique with this right here. I'm going to write it down. Maybe I'll write it down correctly. This is called standard form. We will practice more with standard form in a different chapter, but for now, we're just going to, anytime it's in standard form, for today anyways, I guess, we'll do different things later, we're going to do this X and Y intercept graphing. Okay, and so I'm going to kind of show you how X and Y intercept graphing works. So let's go ahead and get out this. And right here we have x-intercept is -4, y-intercept is -4. Well, this one's really easy because it's the same number, right? So there's a -4 and there's a -4. Here's my line. Right here. And that was easy and quick, right? Of course, this -4 would be, and I'm going to write it down because you're going to have to label your points. So I'm going to label this point 0, -4. This one is going to be the y-intercept. And I call it the y-intercept because this is the y-axis and it crosses it. And they call it the y-intercept because it touches the y-intercept. This would be the x-intercept. Okay, because it intercepts or crosses the x-axis. Okay, probably be better if I zoom in on these graphs. All right, so let's go ahead and do number 2 by yourself, and then I'll work after you. Graph them and label the points. Am I going to put one of these on the test? It's going to be upcoming next week? Yes. So make sure you do get it correct. The x-intercept is 3. And that point is going to be 3, 0. The y-intercept is 2. And this is going to be 0, 2. And that's it. Okay, if all of our graphs were this easy, we would be done with this whole worksheet that I'm about to give you in 10 seconds, right? All right, but they're not. They're a little bit harder. Okay, but these were way harder with the t-tables, right? Because then you had to convert them into solve for y, and then have to do a whole bunch of work. So I'm going to show you how these are going to work real quick. Okay, so I'm going to start with this first one. I'm going to show you how it works. Well, I don't want to start with the first one. I'm going to start with the fifth one, and then we'll do this one. Okay, I'm going to start with the fifth one. So here's the problem. 3x minus 4y equals 12. Okay, I want to find my x and y intercept. Okay, and this is how I'm going to find my x-intercept. Okay, looking at my x-intercept, what's the value of y on my x-intercept? It's 0, right? How about over here? What's the value of y on my x-intercept?
3.
What's the value of y? 0. Okay, so when we find our x-intercept, we're going to let y equal 0. And 0 is a powerful tool in math because, well, anything times 0 is what?
0.
So basically you can make things disappear with 0. It's magic, except for not as exciting. So I'm going to let y equal 0. So really I don't even need this at all, do I? -4 times 0 is just 0. So really this just disappears and all that's left is what? Or just, is this an easy algebra problem to solve at this point? I divide both sides by what? So the x-intercept is going to equal 12 divided by 3, so that is 4. Okay, not too bad. A little bit of work. This is technically higher level of algebra than we did yesterday, but still not that much work. And really, you don't even need this line and this line. You just need this line, right? If you just acknowledge that y is going to disappear, you can just go basically cover it up. 3x equals 12. Just like with the y-intercept, let's see what the y-intercept looks like. Y-intercept, what's x equal? 0. Y-intercept, what's x equal? Okay, so for the y-intercept, we're going to let x equal 0. Okay, and basically what I do is instead of writing all this stuff I did here, I'm just going to cover up all the x's because they're gone. What's left? -4y equals 12. Divide by y equals, or the y-intercept equals, what? Negative. Is that it? Okay, let's graph this. Graph this on 5. We had x-intercept of 4. We have y-intercept of -3. I missed a little bit with my graph, but that's basically it. Now I need to go ahead and label my important points. Make sure we're doing it right. This would be 4, 0. And this would be 0, -3. Okay, the y-intercept has a y value. The x-intercept has an x value. The other one is 0. Okay. Let's try to do this. This one's got to be easy. Let's try to do this one by ourselves. Okay. And if you want to show it on your worksheet, this is basically what you do. X-intercept. Remember, you can just cover up. You can just cover it up y. I had one cut out earlier, but I lost it. That's how it happens. Uh-oh. That one's lost to the ages. So you can just cover up y like this. What's left? That was no work at all, is it? How do we do with the y-intercept? Cover up the x. Don't cover up that minus sign though. Well, that's going to take a little bit of work, right? I guess. What do you do to both sides to get rid of that negative? Okay, can we graph this now? X-intercept, -2. X line, -2. Y line, 2. Is this faster than yesterday? Is it a lot faster? To some of you, it's a lot faster, which is nice. This is going to be 0, 2. This is going to be -2, 0. So far, so good. All right, here's where it has problems. But I'll show you how to deal with it. Go ahead and do 6. Unfortunately, this is not a perfect system. You'll get the right answer, but unfortunately it doesn't necessarily look as good. Okay, I'll set up the problem. This is all you got to do to set up the problem. I'll have to work that out. Y-intercept. Okay, I see a problem here. X is going to equal 6/7. That's not pleasant. I didn't make a whole number or an integer. Let's see what the y-intercept's going to be. Y-intercept's good. It's just going to be -3. All right, so unfortunately, we're going to have to figure out how to graph this 6/7. For a lot of you, it's going to be easier just put it in the calculator. Do 6 divided by 7. And we get 0.857. So I'm going to just put right 0.86. And this is how I'm going to graph this. 0.86, I think, is going to be not all the way to 1. But it's close to 1, isn't it? It's almost all the way there. 86 is almost to 100, right? So I'm just going to put a point right here. It's close enough. Is it exact? But here's how I'm going to show you that I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to write this. 6/7, comma 0. Okay. This one's easy. 0, -3. And then I should be able to, even though I did write that particular problem, should be able to draw a straight line here. Pretty close. Okay. That's as hard as it's going to get today. Questions? Can we do this?